welcome to the stream. Hello. Welcome everyone for another night of Umineko no Nakokoro ni. I'm excited because this game is perfect for the spooky holiday. And we're gonna get closer and closer to Halloween, and this game will be very, very fitting. The game music is a little loud. The game music wasn't even on yet. I'll fix that, don't worry. Also, do you like my bedroom? Now you can finally see where the puppet sleeps on a daily basis. Oh, the outro music, yeah, don't worry. I'll fix that next time. So don't worry. Music right now. Yeah, don't worry. I lowered it. I just added it, so I forgot to do the settings for it. JP, you redeem my channel points. Yes, I added channel points. Random Disney trivia. Did you know that in Tokyo Disney, that debuted in the 80s, the Pinocchio's Daring Journey was opening day ride that came to Tokyo first before it came to the Western Disney. So it came first there. Canonically, Pinocchio is a Japanese ride. So if you go there in Tokyo Disney, it'll be the original version, which is only has slight difference, but both of them are pretty much the same. Also, you can use my emotes now, if you just noticed. Yeah. I'm a walking encyclopedia. I don't need to open Google. You can just open me. Yeah, I like the aesthetic. Thank you. I think it's very fitting. Pinocchio was Japan's best Chota boy wife. Correct. Very, very correct. Wikipedia. Very true. Very true indeed. So, are you guys ready for some Umineko? It's been a while since I touched upon this game, and I don't want to end up forgetting about it. Believe me, it was very tempting to stream Splatoon again, but I'll stream that again some other time. Could you raise your mic volume, please? Okay. I'll raise it. Probably a little low. Hopefully that's good. This is pretty much maximum. My body is ready for the family drama. Yes, hopefully we can hurry up and move past family drama and just go to the spooky witch ojo-samas and lollies that we're expecting to get. Yes, batteries, I need one. Yes, I have the VOD available on my YouTube. In case the VOD. Oh, you want to be called someone did another channel points redeem. Donis is sussy bussy baka desu. Yes, I called you out. You're a sussy bussy baka. Spooky. Ooh. I don't know what other spooky games I'm gonna do throughout the month, but I'll try to think of something. But for now, Umineko does count as a spooky game because it has witches. And part of the game takes place in October anyway. So, I haven't checked, has the YouTube got the chat? No. It's kind of different with Twitch and YouTube. Or at least I don't know how to add the chat. Maybe Shira or Kipa or Ryohi know because they use Twitch a lot more than I do. So, they don't have the chat there. But they have the chat here if you watch it on Twitch. So that's something I'm probably gonna have to work on later on. So yeah. Anywho, let's get started on Umineko. Before we get to what's the word? Get too distracted. Because I know you all want to look at my beautiful bedroom and the lolly who's gonna be on the bed very soon. The chat has something to do with OBS, probably. Maybe. I don't know the logistics of it. Because it doesn't work the same way as I put YouTube on the OBS. So, yeah. Eventually, I'll figure it out. Okay, let's get started on the game. Hopefully, all of you got your snacks. It's gonna be a lot of reading tonight. It's gonna be story time for you. Hopefully, you'll enjoy today's stream. Wow, what a good transition that was. Ooh. Anyway, let's see where we left off. Because we had like a family dinner and there was a lot of commotion happening. And yeah, a lot of yelling. Hopefully the quality of where I put the video won't block too much of the text. Hopefully the volume's not too high, I can lower it. So let's see where we left off, because it's been a while. Stato. Todo. We're right here. Woo! Spooky. The game might be outdated. No, you're outdated. Wow, amazing transition. Anyway, time for story time. And don't worry, I have my water with me. I know I'm gonna need it for all the talking. Okie dokie. We crossed the hall again on our way to the entrance. Beatrice-sama desu. As we did, we once again saw the witch's portrait. Where is Lanka? Oh yeah, there you are, Lanka. I know you and me are very aware of Umineko. So, we probably know what's gonna be happening up ahead. Maybe not so much with everyone else, but this character is gonna be very important later. However, the word saw is probably not the best word to describe that experience. It was more like our eyes were drawn to it. That woman's eyes with the sage-like glamour definitely had the power to make those who looked at her stand rooted in the spot.
Majo, Beatrice ka.
So this is the witch, Beatrice. Beatrice.
Honto ka ne?
Wonder if that's true.
Ay, the lolly, Maria-chan. Get your oohs in chat. Batora 信じてない?
Batora doesn't believe. Oh, thank you for the 420 bit. I definitely gotta make an alert for the bits before I forget next time. Back when he had asked what was the picture was, the first person to tell him it was Beatrice had been Maria. Maria do be cute though. She is! She's our prime loli. Therefore, when Battler shows signs of doubt, Maria must have felt that Battler didn't have faith in her. Of course, if you're watching now on Twitch, me playing Umineko, I do have previous videos on my VOD on YouTube. The link should be on my Twitch channel, I believe, maybe. Either way, it's misery_VT. So, for those who want to be up to speed with where we're at in the story. Hello, R6. God, I hate Twitch, and it's been broken mobile app. Ohio, maybe even Kansas. Yeah, I heard that Twitch is very mixed, but I want to try it out since, you know, it does have some features that are probably more beneficial for me as a streamer. I can use emotes and all that junk. But you know, it's different for everyone. Of course, that's not what Battler meant. Maria ran up to the portrait and began banging on a plate below it. Maybe the title of the portrait was written there. Maria tried to prove that she wasn't lying. Obscenely continued to hit the plate.
悪い。別にマリアが言ったのを疑ったわけじゃないぜ。
Sorry about that. It's not like I doubt anything you said, Maria. Oh, someone wants to headpat the puppet. Wizard, you're the first one to redeem that. Headpat the puppet. Headpat the puppet. Headpat the puppet. Thank you for headpats, Wizard. Much appreciated.
Batora 納得. Batora believes.
Maria's so cute.
So cute.
Yes, get those headpad emotes. I did submit one animated emote, but it's gonna be a while before it goes through. I am late because the search was broken. I had to take a minute to get banned from Jellybean's chat because Twitch made the mistake of recommending me people knows I already hit. Don't show anymore on. Oh. I see. Thank you for highlighting your message. When he patted Maria's head and apologized, she seemed to accept it, sticking out her chest and proudly, ugh. Hold on. Maria deserves head pats too. We head pat the tiny lolly Maria-chan. Head pat. Hit pet for the lolly. Lolly, lolly, lolly. And also hit pet for me too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Only 999 points to have Miss come live in our walls too. Yes, I will come over to your house if you give me 9,999 points, and I'll take you to Disneyland in my not so suspicious white van. Don't worry, it's that easy. Had to speedrun the band by pretending to beat the pronoun spell faster than a real bot. Dang! Why will you do that though? I already redeemed that one. It's the only one.
Nani?
Ah, let's see here. Ooh, ominous music. My beloved witch Beatrice, my waifu.
懐かしき故郷を貫くってなんだこの怪しげな長い碑文はよ。
Behold, the sweet fish river. Wait, what's with this weird long epitaph? I'll be visiting Disney next year. I'll have the puppet in my heart. Bring me with you, Lanka. I'll show you a good time. As in, I'll be riding the Pinocchio ride with you 50 times and then leave. Windowless fans are the great investments that a single man my age can make. Beatrice, show us your pants. Show us your feet. Please. I'm begging you, I'm your 3-tier sub. The plate did have the title of the portrait written on it, but it was much too big to contain only that. Beneath the title, what looked like a long epitaph was also written. As I skimmed over it, I was taken aback by the array of unnerving words that jumped out of me.
すげえだろそれ。
Incredible, isn't it?
じいさまが書かせたものだよ。
Grandfather had that written.
意味深だろ。
Pretty deep, huh? Oh yeah, this is Jessica. She's our cousin. And as well as Maria's, also our youngest cousin.
マリア知ってる
I know!
黄金の隠し場所
It's a place where the gold is hidden!
おいおい後ろ宮家の隠し黄金の話か
Should have got more than pantsu. So true, so true. Wait, is that the story about Yoshiramiya family's hidden gold?
そりゃまた懐かしい話だね。
Another thing that takes me back.
っていうか兄貴、こ
Wait,
れマジなのか
Ajita. Wait, Aniki, is that for real?
これを書かせたおじいさまはこの絵とこの碑文に関しては何も語ってくれないんだ。
Grandfather had this written, but he refuses to say anything about this picture or the epitaph.
でも親類たちの間ではおじいさまの黄金の隠し場所を記したもので
Even so, amongst the family, it is often whispered that it points to the location of grandfather's hidden gold.
この謎を解いた者に家督と黄金の全てを譲るという意味ではないかともっぱらささやかれてるよ。
And that he will relinquish the family's headship and gold to the person who solves the riddle.
マリア聞いたマリア聞いた
I heard that too, I heard that too.
黄金いっぱいいっぱい
Lots and lots of gold.
さてな。
Well, who knows really?
10トンの金塊なんてね。
10 tons of gold bars?
私はちょいと眉唾だけどな。
Sounds a bit fishy to me.
しかしよこんな碑文を読んじまうとマジかなって気になっちまうな。
Still, if you read this all the way through, it almost seems real. I think I explained already grandfather's upbringing, but let me also mention the Yoshiramiya family's legend of gold. Grandfather succeeded the Yoshiramiya family after it had been almost totally destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake. In Japan, it's legal to marry your first cousin. Well, that's what Cardcaptor Sakura has taught me. That incest with your first cousin or second cousin is A-okay. Or, I don't know. Grandfather succeeded the Yoshiramiya family after it's been totally destroying the Great Kanto earthquake, and by successfully riding the stormy seas after the war, managed to accumulate great wealth. That much of a story everyone knows. However, this is where the strange part of the story begins. Part of it is closely tied to grandfather's black magic hobby, so its credibility is extremely low. But Well, wait until the end before you doubt or make fun of it. I haven't watched Cardcaptor Sakura, but now I kinda want to. Cardcaptor Sakura surprisingly has a lot of problematic ships, which is very base. But then again, let it be known that Clamp, the company that, or at least a group of people who made Cardcaptor among many other animes, are a bunch of Fujos. Fujo women, to be exact. So they understand. Netflix has it, but it might be the censored version. I don't know, depends what you mean uncensored. Because Crunchyroll also has Cardcaptor Sakura, but then again, you can also just pirate it. The anime is old enough, so it should be accessible almost anywhere. After the war, Grandfather successfully predicted that the future would hold. His big gamble paid off, and accumulated a vast store of wealth. Bless the Fujos, they're my spirit animal. Mine too, mine too. Yeah, how is it censored? It's not like Sailor Moon, where that was heavily censored, especially in the dub. Where was I? After the war, Grandfather successfully predicted the future would hold. His first big gamble paid off and he accumulated a vast store of wealth. But there is a mysterious legend about how he gained the funds in the first place. Grandfather came from the branch family yet had no connections in the business war of the financial world. Even though he later built connections within the occupying forces in the beginning, he was supposedly a nameless person who had not yet gained anyone's trust. Money can only be gathered based on trust. There's no way anyone would lend money to an untrustworthy person. How did Grandfather, whose trustworthiness was zero, manage to obtain the large amount of funds in the first place? Grandfather answered like this. One fateful day, I encountered a gold witch Beatrice. He went on about how he continued to research the alchemy and techniques of summoning demons in order to become a great mage. And the entity summoned as a result of the demon calling ritual was the golden witch Beatrice. He then said that he had to make a contract where in exchange of his own soul he would receive fortune and honor. The witch then granted Grandfather tens of thousands of gold. Grandfather used this gold to collateral to prepare a vast quantity of funds. Funds that he would later redeem for Beatrice's 3-tier sub. And then used and multiplied his wealth by several times and revived the Ishuramiya family. It seemed the story was too old that our parents had already been told they were children. Our parents, when they were little, explored this island in various ways, believing that the gold that Grandfather had received from the magic might be hidden somewhere. However, since this was a danger of them getting lost in the abandoned forest, Grandfather somewhat began to spread the story that the witch lived in the forest and approaching it was too dangerous. But yeah, about Cardcaptor, that was the one thing I knew that would obviously be censored, was a lot of the gay implications that the characters have for each other. Then again, they also had like this older teacher and this younger girl probably having a crush on each other. I don't know how that censored went about, but I remember watching Cardcaptor way back in the day as a kid, the dub version at least. I remember that a lot of the characters had English names as well. It was very jarring when I later discovered the original version. Anyway, I remember that old story. When we were little, our parents told us about it and we all went over to the island searching for treasures. Didn't we get lost in the forest? Didn't we get lost in the forest and started crying until some of the servants found us? Our parents were so mad at us. That takes me back.
バカだったよな。
We sure were idiots, weren't we?
だってよ、じいさまはその資本金で儲けた挙句でこの島を買うんだぜ。
I mean, come on, Bradford used that to build up the flood, so he finally bought this island with, right?
この島に来る前から黄金を持ってたってことになるじゃねえか。
Jessica's so bullyable, I swear to God. I know, look at her boobas. You just want to squeeze him. I mean, sure we're idiots, weren't we? I mean, come on, grandfather used that to build up the funds and he finally bought this island with, right? That means he must have had gold before coming here.
この島にあるわけがないぜ。
There's no way it'd be here on the island.
そうとも限らないよ。
That's not necessarily so.
その黄金が元からこの島に隠されていて、それを確実に自分のものにするためにこの島を丸々買い取ったとかね。
Maybe the gold was hidden on the island for the beginning and brought the whole island just to make sure it was all his.
何しろ10トンもあるんだもん。
There was a whole 10 tons of it, right?
安全な場所に移すより隠し場所そのものを確保する方が現実的だよ。
There was a whole 10 tons of it, right? It seems more realistic that he would try to secure the place where it was hidden rather than try to move it all.
この碑文を書かせたのは2年前。
This epitaph was written 2 years ago.
それもじいさま自身ってなると、なるほど。黄金伝説も信憑性が増してくるじゃねえか。
And since grandfather had it written himself, I see this does make the legend of the gold more believable.
じいさまが後宮家復興の資本金にしたという魔女に授けられた黄金が10トン。
10 tons of gold bestowed upon grandfather by witch. That it said he used it to revive the Shiramiya family.
そいつがどこかに今も眠っていて、
It's
じ
sleeping
いさまはこの
somewhere.
謎を解けたやつに全部を譲ろうって、
It's sleeping
そういうつもりなの
somewhere.
かもしれねえ。
Stop! Shut up! Let me read. It's sleeping somewhere even now, and grandfather may be planning to turn it over to whoever can solve his riddle.
じいさまらしいセンスというか、なんというか。
I guess that sounds like grandfather's style or something. 演技.
マジならなんとも景気のいい話だぜ。
If it's true, that's one hell of an opportunity. The epitaph carved in the plate was very mysterious, something like a poem or a song. The sentence was incredibly disturbing, filled with signs of grandfather's black magic hobby, and truly in bad taste. But it could definitely be viewed as a puzzle which if solved could lead to the place where the gold was hidden.
そういうつもりなのかどうか、おじいさまの胸中は想像もつかないけどね。
I can't even imagine of what it's intended or not.
一つ言えるのは、このうさんくさい碑文をおじいさまは一族全員に告示するかのようにここに掲示したこと。
He's hiding his SIP money somewhere. All I can say is this is a shady epitaph was displayed here so that everyone in the family could see it.
そして黄金の存在はほのめかしながらも、未だにその隠し場所について一切触れないこと。
It's funny that the grandpa was so judgmental of his family or being untrustworthy and dumb when he made his fortune through a witch gave him gold. I know that's what simping does to you. And that even while hinting at the existence of gold, he still refused to touch upon the subject of its hidden place.
そこから親たちが想像を膨らませて、おじいさまの知恵比べに違いないって言い出した。
That caused our parents' imaginations to run wild and call it a battle of wits for grandfather.
欲の皮が突っ張ってるうちの親父あたりだろうぜ。こんな弱いことを真に受けてるなんてよ。
Bet it's my dad who's taking this nonsense at face value. His greed exposed to the world.
じいさまの黒魔術趣味はバカにしてるくせに、この隠し黄金の話だけは信じてやがる。
Even though he laughs at grandfather's black magic hobby, he'll still believe his story about the hidden gold.
調子のいい話さ。
All talk.
確かに現実的な話じゃないよね。
Well, it's certainly not a realistic story.
当時無名で何のコネクションもなかったおじいさまに無償で莫大な金塊を融資する人物なんているわけがない。
Dang, R6, have you considered getting commission of Ranky having her gigantic Alexander McQueen heel stepping on your tiny little baby cock? That'll be something. Well, it's certainly not a realistic story. At the time when grandfather was still nameless about any connections, there's no way anyone would just have lent him a massive quantity of gold bars for free.
それがいたからこそ、おじいさまはそのスポンサーを魔女と呼んだというなら考えられない話じゃないけど。
Although it's not unthinkable to suggest that's exactly why grandfather called the sponsor a witch. Ah, his sponsor.
でもよ、10トンだぜ、10トン。
Beatrice plays Raid Shadow Legends and she'll force you to play it and then she'll give you gold. I want the beast not to be murdered. I know, but that sounds so funny. Gambro didn't have to sneak the baby in there. Hehe, you brought this upon yourself, R6. Yeah, but it's 10 tons of heal pressure onto R6's cock.
一体現金に直したらいくらくらいになるんだ？
If you traded that for money, how much would that come to?
っていうか、とんでもない量になるはずだぜ。
Anyway, it had to be a ridiculous amount, right?
とんでもない量だよ。
It would be a ridiculous amount.
人類が有史以来発掘した黄金はせいぜい10万トンって言われてる。
They say the amount of gold mined by humankind since the dawn of history at most 100,000 tons of Rengi heal pressure.
人類の歴史が手にした黄金の1万分の1を個人が手にしてるっていうのはとてつもないことだよ。
That 1/10,000th of all gold humankind has obtained throughout his history should belong to just one person is just insane.
それが一箇所にあり、しかもそれをおじいさまにポンと貸し出せるような魔女。
George always gave me creepy Oji-san vibes. Maybe it's the glasses. Look how fogged up they are. That's a sign that someone is sus, and that sussy is him. Once again, if sending Rengi as much as I have hasn't had my crush my cock yet, I'm not sure any amount will. Only one way to find out, right? And it should all be in one place, and that there should be a witch who could lend it to grandfather as if it was nothing.
ただものじゃないね。
That would be no ordinary person. Maybe if I were attacked her in a dark alleyway and her only defense was a convenient pair of stiletto heels. Yes, the sharpest stiletto heels known to man. Sharper than tiger claws.
私はよ、その10トンって数字ももはや嘘くさいと思ってるぜ。
This sounds like a fanfic that someone should write between R6 and Rengi. As for me, I think that number 10 tons sounds totally fake.
第一よ、じいさま以外に見たやつはいないんだろ？
In the first place, has anyone other than grandfather even seen it?
仮に気前のいい魔女が実在して黄金を貸したとしても、それは10は10でも10キロぐらいの間違いじゃねえのか？
And even if some generous witch lent them some actual gold, couldn't that 10 be right, but actually be mistaken for 10 kilos?
10キロでも相当いい金額になるはずだぜ。
R6 essentially has no hinges to begin with. Yep, he is just one freak in the sheet. And that's why we love him. Even 10 kilos would be pretty incredible sum, right?
10キロの黄金っていくら？
10 kilos of gold is how much? Mario, who couldn't keep up with the felt like she was being spoken to in riddles, finally found a place where she could ask a question. 10 kilos is way less than 10 grand. I see. A question which I also wanted to ask right then. But I couldn't put a number on exactly how incredible. George Aniki folded his arms and tried to remember the market price of gold.
さあ、
Well,
金も相場の影響を受けるから何とも言えないし、純度や鋳造先の信用によっても変わってくる。
gold is affected by speculation and its price. It also changed depending on its purity and the trustworthiness of the foundry.
換金に手数料もかかるし。
You would also need to pay a commission to turn into money.
ただ、希少金属であることは間違いなくて、このまま採掘が進めば、人類はあと半世紀ほどで全てを掘り尽くしてしまうんじゃないかって憶測もある。
Still, it is definitely a precious metal, and some people estimate that if gold mining continues its current rate within half a century, we would have mined all of it.
でたらめに言って1キロあたり200万円程度の価値はあるんじゃないかと思うね。
Just guessing haphazardly, for 1 kilo, I think maybe a price of 2 million yen. Also, remember, this is the 80s, so I guess the pricing would be different then as compared to now. Because, you know, inflation, all that stuff. Just guessing half-heartedly for 1 kilo, I think maybe price 2 million yen.
ひゅ
Whoa!
私よ、10キロってのは今適当に言って控えめな数字なんだけどよ。
I know I just plucked that 10 kilos figure out of thin air.
それでも2000万円の価値があるってことになるじゃねえかよ。
But even that would be worth 20 million yen.
おー、
Oh?
体重28キロ。
I weigh 28 kilograms.
ということはマリアちゃんと同じ重さの黄金なら
Which means that if we had Maria-chan's weight in gold,
その価値は5000万円を超えるって計算になるね。
we could estimate it's worth at over 50 million yen.
そりゃたまげるな。
That is just mind-boggling.
10トンならいくらだ？
How much would 10 tons be then?
10キロで2000万が1000倍だからと
It's 20 million for 10 kilos times 1,000, so that's it.
200億円か？
20 billion yen?
こりゃたまらねえや。
Hey, what the hell? Nani sore wa nane? How much is 20 billion yen actually worth? We would have to measure it by putting it in terms we could actually understand. Hey, now nerds can be nice too. That's true. Very true, JP. I mean, they say that wages over a lifetime are 20 million yen. You grow and work like crazy, sacrificing your life for your company, and as you approach old age, you're finally freed. And all that together, including the retirement money, comes out to 20 million yen. In other words, that this is the cash equivalent of a human's life. No, you could even call it the price of a life. We were talking about a sum so enormous that it would require hundreds of those lives. Assuming you work for 40 years, from age 20 to 60, then it's equal to 4,000 years of work wages. It's a sum of money you can finally accumulate over working every single starting from the Jomon period.
ほう。
Damn. Imagine earning that much money just from working. If only.
200億円ってすごい？
Is 20 billion yen huge?
ああ、すげえよ。
Yeah, it's huge.
マリアの大好きなショートケーキだったら多分一生かかっても食い切れないくらい買えるぜ。
Now take those estimates to Jeff Bezos. Yeah, it's huge, Maria. You can buy more than just shortcake you love than you could eat in a lifetime.
でも200億円という現金ならいざ知れず
However, while I could imagine 20 billion yen in cash,
それと同等の金塊が一ところにあるなんてとても現実的とは思えないね。
I don't think it's very plausible for it to be all in one place in gold bars.
さっきも言った通り黄金は非常に重くて財産をまとめておくにはちょっと便利とは思えないよ。
Just as I said, gold is extremely heavy, and it's not very convenient as a method of storing all your accumulated fortune.
ものすごい額面の有価証券とかものすごく価値のある宝石とかそういうものなら考えられなくもないけれど
If it was all your highly valued stocks and bonds, or really expensive precious gems, it would be unthinkable.
戦時中の混乱期に自分の資産を持ち運べるよう全て宝石などに変えた人たちがいたのは有名な話だからね。
You often hear of people who, in the chaotic period of the war, traded their wealth for precious gems so that they could carry it around with them.
でも黄金で資産を備蓄したというのはなかなか聞かない。
But you don't usually hear stories of people exchanging their wealth of gold.
確かに重いけどよ、国際的に一番信用されてて価値も安定してるし意味はあるんじゃないのかな。
Of course it's heavy, but internationally it's the most trusted and stable. Doesn't that mean something?
証券とかだったら国が滅びちまったら紙切れになっちまうわけだし。
With the bonds, for example, if the country is destroyed, they're just scraps of paper.
そういう考え方もあるね。
You can also look at it that way.
でも 10kg のインゴット一つでも体感重量は相当のものだよ。
But even one 10 kilo ingot is pretty heavy to carry
聞い
around.
たことない？
You know what else is heavy to carry around? These boobas. My god. So heavy. Have you ever heard of this?
50キロの人間は背負えても50キロの俵は担げないって。
Even if you can carry a 50 kilogram person on your back, you can't carry a 50 kilogram bag over your shoulder.
それだけの莫大な重量の金塊を個人が所有するリスクと手間は計り知れないね。
With that many gold bars, the amount of labor risk for one person would be too hard to calculate. Damn, they had no idea how to glory a cryptocurrency that could solve their problem.
ってことはつまり200億円の札束がうなってるって話ならともかく。
This were simpler times before NFTs were a thing. So what you're saying is, if we were talking 20 billion yen in banknotes lying around, that'd be one thing.
200億円分の黄金が山積みになってるってのはちょいと現実味がないわけだな。
But given that it's supposedly 20 billion yen in gold piled up, it doesn't really ring true.
そういうことになるね。
I feel like we've been learning math this entire time.
黄金伝説なんて響きはとても面白いんだけど、そもそも10トンの黄金という時点で少々無理があるね。
That's right, although the legend of the gold does have some pretty interesting ring to it, even just a part of the 10 tons of gold is a bit of a stretch.
そうやってリズムで考えるとみるみる嘘くさくなっていくぜ。
If you think about it logically like that, it does sound obviously fake.
夢のない話さ。
Kinda brings you back down to reality.
でもそこは何しろあのおじいさまだからね。
That's it, it is grandfather we're talking about after all.
親切なお金持ちからの融資を大げさに吹聴して魔女から授かった10トンの黄金なんて例え方をしたのかもしれないよ。
He may have announced that his financing from some kind of rich person is an exaggeration metaphorical way as 10 tons of gold received from a witch.
10トンという数字も象徴的な感じがするしね。
Even the number of 10 tons feels pretty symbolic.
つまり借りた金のありがたさは10トンの黄金に匹敵する価値があったってなことだな。
You mean like his gratitude for money he borrowed was worth 10 tons of gold or something?
じいさまに大金持ちの勇敢マダムが気前よく恵んでくれて、
Maybe some rich man's leisured wife generously granted to grandfather.
そのご婦人を魔女と呼んだってことじゃねえのか？
I'm more interested in my ability to carry off the lolly one-handed. Well, I am a doll lolly, so carrying me won't have any problems. Maybe that he started calling his lady a witch. Mistress. His simp wife. Jessica's example isn't bad. If someone was generous enough to lend a huge sum of money to grandfather when his trustworthiness was still... who followed? Anua Sora, I believe. Thank you for following. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that, but thank you. Someone was generous enough to lend a huge sum of money to grandfather when his trustworthiness was still 0. She would still certainly be someone worth being called a witch. Anua Sora, you're welcome, and you have a really pretty voice. Thank you, Anusara. Much appreciated. Furthermore, grandfather later used that money to build a vast amount of wealth. It's some an incredibly ability to judge people. Again, she might well be fittingly called a witch. Also, since she went to the trouble of lending all that money, she might also have enthusiastically guided how it was spent. Spent it on feet pigs, more like it. Come to think of it, the idea of getting involved with the occupying forces and profit from Korean War demands might have come from the witch as well. But with all that considered, seeing that he received wealth and honor from a witch might actually be a fair description.
なるほどな。
I see.
ってことはつまりこの魔女様は後ろ宮家復興のための資金を恵んでくださった復興の大恩人ってわけだ。
I see. So in other words, this witch granted the funds necessary to revive the Yoshinoya family and grandfather owed her big time. If you see a game on Steam called Made in Abyss, don't buy it because it's stupid, because you have to beat the game to unlock Maker just to let them know. Oh, don't worry. I don't need to play the Made in Abyss game. I already seen the anime. Hehehe. I am one step ahead. I can already see the suffering unfold in front of me without having to play a very glitchy game. But thank you. Thank you for the warning. Where was I? I see. So in other words, his witch granted the funds necessary to revive the Shiramiya family, and grandfather owed her big time.
となりゃ、じい様が感謝の気持ちを込めてこんだけでかい絵を描かせて掲げさせたってのも、なるほど、おかしい話じゃないのかもな。
If that's the case, and grandfather had that huge painting drawn and displayed out of the feelings of gratitude, yeah, that might be a strange story.
ひょっとするとよ、当の本人は見るからに魔女っぽいばあさんだったかもしれないぜ。
And what if this person looked like an old witch like Granny? Like the classic old Snow White type witch.
それをじいさまが美化して、こんな美人に描いてくれたってのは考えられる話さ。
And then grandfather idolized her appearance and turned her into a beauty when that painting was drawn.
案外、当の本人に会ってみたら、こんなに美人じゃないかもしれねえな。
I bet if we ever did meet this person, she wouldn't be nearly as pretty.
ありえるね。
That's possible.
ベアトリーチェって名前はいかにも洋風だけど、僕たち一族の名前がみんな洋風であることを考えると、
The name Beatrice sounds pretty Western, and if you think about how everyone in our family has Western-style names...
このベアトリーチェって名前も日本人名を無理やり洋風にアレンジしたものなのかもしれないよ。
The name Beatrice sounds pretty Western, and if you think about how everyone in our family has Western-style names, maybe even the name Beatrice is the result of grandfather trying to rearrange some Japanese person's name to make it sound Western. Again, he's a Westaboo.
なるほど、なるほど。
I get it.
この美人は絵の中にしかいないってわけだな。
That means that this pretty girl doesn't exist that's outside the picture.
それじゃあ、あの立派そうな胸は揉めそうにないぜ。
I guess that means I won't be able to rub those elegant breasts.
鼻っから魔女なんておかしいんだよな。
In the first place, isn't a witch a little weird?
そんなのが地球上のどこにいるってんだ。
Like, you could find something like that anywhere on Earth. Your avatars are pretty and your voice, thank you. I drew my VTuber model myself and my blue fairy mama brought me to life. It was a very engaging story about a little puppet who wanted to be real. Oh, thank you. As I laughed and made fun of the witch in an attempt to differentiate myself from the kid I was 6 years ago who was afraid of the witch of the forest, Maria took my sleeve. The strength in which she did so displayed a little annoyance. Hey?
なんだよ、マリア。
What is it, Maria-chan?
ベアトリーチェはいる。
Beatrice exists. Maria stared up at me. She had one usual sour look, but I could tell she was angry because of the color of her eyes.
魔女いる。
Witches exist!
魔女はいる。
Witches exist, you little shit! Don't make a lolly cry.
なんだよ、そりゃいるだろうよ。テレビをつけりゃアニメとかによ。
Well, for sure they do exist if you turn on the TV and watch anime or something. Exist! They exist!
魔女はいる。
Witches exist! Eh? Okay, calm down, Maria, calm down. Jesus, witches exist, okay. I started to feel pressure, not knowing why Maria was jumping on me like this. Whew, wild Lottie going feral. Well, hey there, Toon Cat. Meowdy evening. Hello, welcome to the migration to Twitch. Then Jessica tapped me on the shoulder and told me in a small voice.
バカだな。子供の夢打ち砕いてんじゃねえぜ。
Dumbass, don't go smashing a kid's dream. Jeez, oh my god. Maria's morbing out.
マリアは魔女とかベアトリーチェとかが確かに存在するって信じてんだよ。
I wanted to morb on me. Dumbass, don't go smashing a kid's dream. Maria really believed that things like witches and Beatrice exist.
確かマリアちゃんは学校の文集に将来なりたいものは魔女って書いたんだっけ？
Maria also believes in Santa. Come to think of it, Maria-chan in social studies at your school. When we were asked to write what you wanted to be when you grew up, you wrote a witch, didn't you? Maria nodded, seriously. Who wants to be a lolly witch? Tears started to run from the corner of her eyes. I see, to a girl who wanted to become a witch in the future, this Beatrice is proof that witches do exist in this world. And is also someone who she admires and strives to be like.
Exist!
Exist!
魔女はいる
Our lolly Engi, witches exist.
なのにバトラが信じない
Bata doesn't believe.
うん、いるよ、魔女は。
It's alright. They exist. They exist. They exist in every Spirit Halloween store.
お兄ちゃんは信じるよ。
Oni-chan believes it. Rojaniki kneeled down and held Maria's head. Watching as Jessica poked me in the side. So that's what it is. It's basically like I just dropped the bomb that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Damn. In front of a child who believes in him on Christmas Eve. Damn, brutal. I'm not that kind of guy who likes to shatter kids' dreams.
悪かったぜ。
Gomen, I'm sorry.
別にマリアの夢にケチをつけたわけじゃねえんだ。
I wasn't trying
謝る
to
よ。
make fun of your dreams. Gomen nasai, Maria-chan.
ベアトリーチェはいるよな。
Of course, Beatrice exists.
今もこの島の森の中に住んでいて、夜な夜なこの屋敷で何をやってるのか覗き見しに来るんだろ。
Even now, she's living in the forest and comes every night to the mansion to peek in and see what everyone's doing.
だから森には入っちゃいけない。
That's why you shouldn't go to the forest.
夜はいつまでも暗い森を眺めていてはいけない。
And at night, you mustn't stay staring into the dark forest.
森の魔女ベアトリーチェに見つかってしまうかもしれないから。
You might be seen by the witch of the forest, Beatrice.
バサマがそう言ってたんだもんね。
And after all, grandmother said so.
本当に
Really?
本当にバトラは信じる
Really? Batara believe?
ああ、信じるぜ。
Yes, I believe.
ケチをつけて悪かったよ。
Sorry for doubting it.
ほら、仲直りしようぜ。
Come on, let's make up and kiss, okay? I stuck out my hand and Maria grabbed it with her tiny hand and they made up. Ugh, the size difference established. You can be a spirit Halloween sexy witch, Maria. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yes, don't let your dreams be just creams. Follow your dreams and you'll give me your creams. Maria, out on the hole. Maria didn't even grumble anymore than that, so George, Aniki, and Jessica were relieved. Thank God, we finished the math talk.
シャノンちゃんシャノンよちゃんブバ皆様ここにいらっしゃられたんですか
Oh, is this where all you were?
てっきり海岸へ行かれたとばかり
I was sure you had just left to go to the beach. Shannon-chan carrying a basket was surprised to find us all gathered in front of the portrait.
シャノンか。
シャノン
いやさ、バトラはベアトリーチェの肖像画を初めて見るからさ。
Well, this is the first time Ballard has seen Beatrice's portrait.
まあ見とれてたってわけだぜ。
He was just fascinated by it.
そうですね見とれちゃいますね
Yeah, she does that, doesn't she?
ベアトリーチェ様って本当にお綺麗です
Beatrice-sama truly is beautiful. No, Shannon, you're beautiful. Look at those boobas. That's like 1,000,000 ton right there. Bigger than Jessica's even. Woo! Get your in chat.
さぞや親方様を虜になさったろうと思います。
I'm sure that she captivated the master. Yeah, so true. She's a milkmaid. A milkmaid confirmed.
パトロン説の他にもおじい様の初恋の人だという説もあるんだ。
In addition to the patron theory, there's also a theory that she was grandfather's first love.
どちらにせよ彼女に出会ってから数十年を経ているだろうにもかかわらず今なお心の中に大きく居座り続けているんだから。
Either way, although it's been several decades since he met her, even now she holds a special place in his heart.
それは今なお虜にしているということなんだろうね。
Which must mean that he is so captivated by her even today.
やれやれ。
やるやる。
これじゃばあ様はさぞや嫉妬しただろうぜ。
That must have made grandfather pretty jealous, huh?
私はよく知らねえけど、やっぱりそういうのはあったらしいぜ。
I don't know everything, but yeah, that did happen actually.
ばあ様は金髪の浮気相手がいると信じてたらしいな。
Apparently, grandmother believed that he was cheating on her with some blonde-haired woman.
は
At a fair?
あ、いい匂い。
Good smell?
シャノンからいい匂い。
Good smell coming from Shannon? Yes. Dive deep into her booba to smell it. Maria's sniffing approached the basket Shannon was holding with her interest. Now that you mention it, I do notice a fragrance scent from the essence of vanilla.
申し訳ございません。
Ah, I apologize.
熊沢さんからこれを皆さんにお届けするようにことづかりました。
I was told by Kumasawa-san to bring them all to you.
なんだろ
Oh, she's bringing her breast milk.
う。素敵だね。
I mean her best milk.
クッキーだ。
Cookie with milky.
クッキー食べたい。
I want to eat that cookie.
クッキー食べたい。
I want to eat that cookie.
お召し上がりいただけますよ。
Apparently, you may eat as many as you would like. Don't mind if I do. Going deep into her breast. Cookies and milk just for me. Oh
でも
my god.
その
But the breaded cutting need to be protected. So bready. Unsure whether it was really acceptable to serve cookies in a place like this in front of a portrait, Shannon-chan sent us to a glance which she seemed to ask what we wanted to do. Well, thinking about it, yeah, that would be bad manners.
マリア、ここじゃなくてよそで食べようぜ。
Mario, why don't we eat somewhere else?
クッキーをお弁当にピクニックに行こう。
Let's put the cookies in a bento and have a picnic. Woo!
ピクニック行こう。ピクニック行こう。
Have a picnic, have a picnic!
クッキー食べれるなら行こ
If we can eat cookie, let's go.
そうだな。ちょっと表の空気を吸いに行くか。
Yeah, let's go get some fresh air.
魔女様の御前でつまみ食いもねえもんだぜ。
We shouldn't pick at food right now in front of a witch.
そうだ。もともと私たちは浜辺に行こうって言ってたんじゃねえか。
No, no, JB, your internet dropping that so bad. Of course, on my end, my OBS is green. I hope you get it sorted. Maybe try refreshing if it helps. Alright, didn't we say we wanted to go down the beach in the first
行
place?
こうぜ行こうぜ。
Let's go, let's go.
シャノンちゃん、
Shannon-chan.
申し訳ないんだけど腰を下ろせる敷物と水筒にお茶を入れてきてもらうのをお願いしてもいいかな。
Right, but could I ask you to get us a blanket to sit on and some flask of tea?
う。はい。
Why?
かしこまりました。
Certainly. Aona says she got a nice voice, though I didn't have any clips on hand on my channel yet. Oh, stop. You're flattering me. But yes, I do sing Disney songs every once in a while. Maybe I'll do more karaoke streams in the future if I can. Of course, I don't know if they'd be allowed on Twitch, given the music copyrights. Same with YouTube, sadly. I do have a Pomp channel, so maybe I'll do it there. Hanan-chan received her instructions and gracefully bowed before retracing her steps. It's just hard. Eh? Oh, Talvemir, thank you for the follow. But yes, back to karaoke streams. They're a little tricky to do. Mostly because of copyright and, that sort of things we had to get through. Most of what I've seen from HoloLive, they just do an archive stream. Which is streams you would only see during live, but you won't see them again after. Which I guess is kind of unfair, but I guess that's one way to do it because, copyright and music don't get along very well. I do have a Pump channel, which is a separate streaming website. And only for 18 plus, of course. Otherwise, maybe streaming there won't be so bad with future karaokes. But yeah, that's just my opinion, at least. We headed for the beach on our own. I've only done one karaoke stream, and that made my voice very tired. Everyone headed for the entrance in the group. Feeling as though the witch was staring down on our backs, I turned around once more. Talvemir, thank you. Hello, how are you? Hello, I am doing very, very well. I am streaming a horror-esque visual novel, which is an old favorite of mine from the early 2000s called Umineko no Nakokoro ni. It has some correlations with Higurashi no Nakokoro ni, if you're familiar with that. Also, this game is very fitting for the spooky holiday of October. That's why I'm streaming it, and hopefully we'll get to the really good parts by the time October hits. And also, this is my first few times streaming on Twitch, because I used to mostly stream on YouTube, but I recently tried to do a migration here and see how things work out for me as opposed to streaming on YouTube. But in case you want to watch the VOD for this, it will be available on my YouTube, which the link should be on my Twitch channel. Misery_VT. Or -VT, whichever. So the links would definitely also be on my Twitter as well. Under the same name. Misery, you still don't believe?
Yeah, 信じるぜ.
Yes, I convert. Because unlike YouTube, I can use my emotes here and have a lot more options for me to have fun streaming. Which is just my opinion, because I know everyone is different. But still, I hope you enjoy this channel and get comfy and enjoy me reading you a bedtime story of this visual novel. No, I believe.
その方が夢があるしな.
That way is way more fantastical.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェがじい様に10トンの黄金を授けた.
Golden Witch Beatrice gave grandfather 10 tons of gold.
それで、その黄金がどこかに眠っているかもしれない.
That gold might be sleeping around somewhere.
しかもそいつをじい様は怪しげな碑文に書き残し、見つけられるもんなら見つけてみろと俺たちを挑発してるってんじゃねえか。
Plus, they're saying grandfather wrote that strange epitaph as though challenging us to find it where we can.
こういうロマンはあった方がいいってもんさ。
I think this kind of romantic story is a better way.
200億円の黄金か。
20 billion yens worth of gold.
私たち4人で山分けしたってとんでもない金額になるな。
Even if we split it between the 4 of us, that'd still be a ridiculous amount of money. Yes, think of how much chicken nuggets you can buy in a single day. That'd be way too many chicken nuggets. But still, all those chicken nuggets would be for you.
一人頭50億円か。
5 billion yen worth of chicken nuggets! Jesus! Imagine, you'll never go hungry. You'll probably have very high cholesterol after.
すごいね。
Incredible.
それだけあったらどんな事業でも起こせそうだよ。
That kind of money, any business would prosper.
いや、そもそも働かずに生涯を優雅に過ごせるだろうね。
No, we could live our whole lives fabulously without ever working at all. And eating only chicken nuggets because that's what we choose. That's gonna be one giant nugget. So big, even Bezos can see it all the way up from Mars.
50億円よりクッキークッキ
Not 5 billion yen. Cookies. Cookies! Yes, Maria has the right mindset.
マリアには金よりクッキーだな。
Yes, because she is too pure. Maria would take cookies over money. God. So true, Maria. So true.
しかし、50億円か。
Still.
夢のある話さ。
5 billion yen. Yes, it's like a dream. Mizuri, do you have a catchphrase like Ushiro Miya? I don't know. I don't know if I reached up to that level of finding my own catchphrase. I would prefer if I found it naturally. So maybe one day I will, and then I'll annoy everyone with it. Cocky! Cocky! Oh.
バカバカしい。
Damn, no more fun time. Now back to family drama. Oh! Puppet Connie! Erotic! Oh!
まさかお前たちは親父殿の黄金伝説を本当に信じているのかね。
Heh, ridiculous. Is it truly possible that you all believe in Father's Legend of the Gold?
魔女が黄金を与えた云々はさすがに信じねえさ。
Now we are getting to the parents' point of views of this whole legend being told to us. The story about a witch who gave him a gold and so forth we obviously don't believe.
だが黄金の話だけは間違いじゃない。
However, there's no mistake about the gold.
お父様が出自不明の金塊を持っていたことは複数の筋から確認されているわ。
This bitch. This bitch. Multiple sources have confirmed that the fact that father was in possession of gold bars from an unknown source.
死んだマルソーの会長は生前、お父様に某所で積み上げられた金塊を実際に見せられたという。
Misery's catchphrase is
Pinocchio!
so true. That's me when I go back to Disneyland.
Pinochi-chan-kan!
We heard that before the Maruso company president died, father showed us a large amount of gold somewhere. This is probably going to be very awkward for those who watch us on YouTube because they can't see the chat. And people are like, what is Misery saying? Is she having a moment? And I'm like, sure, why not? I'm having a puppet moment, but also reading an imaginary chat. I'm just kidding, you're not imaginary, you're right here. Oh, thank you, JB, for gifting a sabu. Now I don't know why it's not showing up. It's okay though. Thank you. Also, thank you for gifting a shabu shabu. Giving shabu to R6 as well. I should probably also add that alert. I guess it's separate for gifting subs rather than subbing yourself. I'll definitely fix that. I have to do a lot of image alerts and all that stuff. Anywho, before I get distracted really, we heard that before the Maruso company president died, father showed him a large amount of gold
お
somewhere.
父様はそれを指して10トン分あるとはっきり明言したわ。
Thank you for the subs, JB. You're very generous as always. Father stated clearly to him that we were 10 tons worth.
老いぼれのざれ言じゃないか。
That's just a nonsense of senile old men.
親父殿と一緒に存在しない黄金の存在をでっち上げただけだ。
Man, the music's getting so intense. Along with father, he was just fabricating a story.
取るにも足らない。
You can't take it seriously.
存在せん黄金にあないな軍資金は集まらへんで。
If that gold didn't exist, he wouldn't have been able to gather so much funding.
会長さんは生前その真摯なお人柄であれだけ大勢の財界人から尊敬を集めたお人や。
Before the president died, he was a person whose sincere personality gathered a lot of respect from many of the business world.
詐欺の片棒なんか担がへん。
He wouldn't have become a partner to such a fraud.
兄貴、
Aniki,
マルソーの会長は確かに見たんだ。
President Maruso definitely saw it.
10トンの黄金をはっきりとその目で。
10 tons of it, clearly with his own eyes.
しかも親父はそのインゴットの一つを任意で抜き取らせ、会長に持ち帰らせて鑑定させた。
Even more, Dad let the person take 1 ingot of a random and have it examined.
それは10キロのインゴットで、鑑定結果は
Result of the examination showed that the 10-kilogram ingot had a purity of 4 nines, 99.99%.
インゴット表面には後ろ宮家の家紋である片翼のワシが刻印されていたという。
He said that Yoshida-miya family crest, a one-winged eagle, has carved into it. So close, it could have been the one-winged angel, and then this would have been an entirely different game, wouldn't it?
後宮の黄金伝説は瞬く間に財界のフィクサーたちの間に広がったわ。
Hey, that's bad for me, not you. I'd pay you to do no such thing. Ugh. Guys are fighting, don't fight. Almost instantly, the Yoshida-miya legend of the gold spread amongst the fixers of the business world.
鋳造元不明の黄金は換金率が悪い。
Gold from an unknown foundry was a poor rate of conversion into money. Hey, don't be silly, he got this money because Beatrice was a part of Raid Shadow Legends.
ボロ儲けのチャンスだと思った彼らはそれを担保に認め、
She was his sponsor
お
after
父
all.
様は莫大な融資を受けることができた。
R6 says you can't handle my explosive head. I can outsuck a slump pump based purely on your own belief and untested ability. Calm down, R6. It's okay. We're just talking about the funny gold that you get from the funny witch. Almost instantly, the Yoshida-miya legend of the gold spread amongst the fixers of the business world. Gold from an unknown foundry was a poor rate of conversion into money. Thinking that it was all a chance for deceiving profits, they accepted it as a collateral, and as a result, father was able to receive a giant loan.
バカバカしいにも程があるじゃないか。
It was the most ridiculous nonsense I've ever heard.
お前たちはいくつになる？
How old are you people?
まだそんな子供の頃のおとぎ話を真に受けているのかね。
Are you still taking that fairy tale you heard as a kid as face value? So cringe, bestie?
第一、その10トンの黄金の証拠はどこにあるんだ？
Where's the proof of this 10 tons of gold even exists? Come on, people.
親父殿と親交の深かったごく一部の人間のざれ言だけじゃないか。
Isn't it just lies of father and those who are closest to him?
もちろん口伝だけさ。
Of course, it's just a story.
でもよ兄貴、
But still, Aniki.
親父が調達した莫大な金はそれに見合う担保が必要だった。
The amount of money the dad raised required a suitable quantity of collateral.
仮に黄金がデマでもそれに匹敵する価値あるお宝を親父が見せたのは紛れもない事実じゃねえのかい？
Even if the gold was just a rumor, that had been shown from a treasure of comparable worth is unmistakably truth, don't you think?
都市空間の親父殿が作った黄金幻想さ。
It was just a fiction of gold created by your penniless
あ
father.
りもしない黄金をあるかに振る舞い、スポンサーたちを騙したんだ。
He made it seem that non-existent gold actually existed and fooled his sponsors.
一世一代の大博打だったのだよ。
God, I hate these two grown-ups, me too! Let's go back to the kids because there's no lolly here. It was probably the gamble of a lifetime.
運よくその資産の運用に成功できた。
Fortunately, he used his funds to prove successful.
もし当時の外需拡大がなかったら後宮家の再興はならず、親父殿は世紀のペテン師として追われていただろう。
If the Korean War demands hadn't come for the Yoshida-miya family had not been restored, father would probably have been hounded after as the crook of the century.
じゃあクラウス兄さんは黄金など最初から存在せず、すべてお父さんのでっち上げだ言うんか？
Yes, R6 everything. I know I just did a band speed run, but filters please. You need to calm down, R6. You don't need to go that unhinged. This is not Pump. Save it for Pump. In that case, are you saying that the gold never existed and the father made it all up?
もちろんさ。
Of course.
だから十分な成功を収めた後には、 黄金幻想など面倒なだけだった。
Of course, therefore, after he had become sufficiently successful, the fiction of the gold was nothing but an inconvenience.
だから親父殿は魔女だの黒魔術だのとわけのわからないことを後に言い出して信憑性を薄めたのさ。
So father made it up that absurd story about the witch and the black magic and made the whole thing seem more or less believable.
つまり黄金幻想がでっち上げであることを明かしたのだよ。
Yes, that's the twist. There is no gold. It was just chocolate gold coins. In other words, he revealed that the gold was a complete fiction.
魔女に黄金を授かったなどと言えば、もはや誰も黄金の存在を信じたりはしまい。
Or maybe it was all money laundering. If he says that he received gold from a witch, no one would believe that it exists at all, right?
あるいはお前たちのために言い出したのかもしれないな。
A fiction, a lie, a chocolate coin. I'd rather have a chocolate coin. He may even have said it for all of your sakes.
なのに、ありもしない黄金を遺産分配に含めて議論しようというバカな息子たちが現れる。
Nevertheless, some stupid offspring wanted to divide up this non-existent gold with the rest of the inheritance have appeared.
ローザ、まさかお前までこんなでっち上げを信じてるって言うんじゃないだろうな。
Rosa, don't tell me that even you believe this kind of fabrication.
私はお父様が本当に黄金を持っていたかどうかを確かめることはできない。
I can't prove whether or not father really has the gold.
でもお父様の4人の子供の一人として正当な分を主張したいだけよ。
However, as one of father's 4 children, I just wanted to claim my rightful share. That's all.
ほう。
Oh. That's so.
ローザも言うようになったじゃないか。
Oh, it seems even Rosa has learned to assert herself.
なるほど。お前たちはこう言いたいわけかね。
Alright, maybe this is what you all wanted to say.
私が黄金を独り占めしようとしていると。
That I'm trying to keep the gold all to myself.
兄さんが莫大な軍資金を調達したのは事実。
Nissan, the fact that you've obtained a massive amount of funding.
それがお父様の個人資産の横領では断じてありえないというなら。
If we rule out the possibility that you have embezzling father's personal
つ
funds,
まりはそういうことよ。
then there's only one possibility left, right?
兄貴はすでに10トンの金塊を見つけてるんじゃないかって。
Aniki, maybe you have already found the 10 tons of gold
俺
bars.
たちはそう見てるのさ。
It sure looks to us that way.
バカバカしい。
Ridiculous.
そんなものは元より存在しない。
Something like that never existed in the first place.
じゃあ説明なさいよ。
Then explain yourself.
お父様の財産の横領、お父様の隠し黄金。
Embezzlement of father's assets, father's hidden gold.
そのどちらでもないなら、どうやってあれだけの軍資金を調達できたっていうの？
How could you have gathered so much funding if you didn't use one of these?
私にも政界財界に友人が多くいてね。
I also have my friends in the political world and the financial world.
彼らから協力を得ただけに過ぎんよ。
I have done nothing more than gain their assistance.
それについ
Yeah,
て
right.
お前たちに説明する義務はない。
As for that, I have no responsibility to explain it to you.
わかっているだろう？
You don't understand, don't you?
話せぬ方面の筋もある。
There are some topics that can't be talked about.
兄貴がそうだと言い張るんならそれでいいさ。
If that's the story you insist on, then fine.
でもよ兄貴、親父は長くない。
But Aniki, Dad doesn't have long.
来年の今日まで生きてるなんて誰にも保証できねえんだぜ。
Nobody can ensure that he will live to see this day next year.
親父が死ねばその時点で遺産相続だ。
When Dad dies, inheritance will be passed on immediately.
俺たちは全員の立場から中立な弁護士と会計士を立てて親父の財政状況を調査させるぜ。
We will all set up impartial lawyers and accountants to inspect the state of Dad's finances.
その時、お父様の資産に兄さんが不当な干渉をしていることが発覚したなら
If at that time the fact that our brother and unjustly interfere with father's money comes to light,
お分かりね
you understand, right?
何の話だかさっぱりわからんね。
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
妻でなくても憤慨したい気持ちだ。
You're starting to make me feel as indigent as my wife was.
お父さんの黄金はもちろんお父さんの財産や。
Father's gold is definitely one of father's assets. Yeah, don't worry about our six. He's in his own world. He's just yeah. Don't worry about him. Father's gold is definitely one of father's assets.
表に出せん金やっちゅうのも分かっとる。
Father's gold is definitely one of father's assets. I understand it's money you can't reveal openly.
しかし4人に公平な権利があるはずや。
Even so, the four siblings should have an equal right to it.
つまり兄貴が黄金を独り占めしていないかどうか、兄貴についても財務状況を調査させてもらうぜってことなのさ。
In short, we will also have your financial situation investigated to determine whether or not you are hoarding the gold.
いい機会じゃない
You have a good opportunity right now.
兄さんの言うところの友人知人にバックアップしてもらったというところを証明なさいよ
Prove the existence of this backup from friends and acquaintance that you will mention.
そうすれば兄さんは潔白
That way you'll be spotless.
私たちはくだらない疑いを持ってしまったことを潔く謝れるわ
And we can sportingly apologize for foolishly doubting you.
ねえローザ
Right, Rosa?
そうね。
That's right.
クラウス兄さんこそ話をはぐらかしてるわ。
Krasny-san, you are the one who's avoiding the topic.
やましいところがないというなら証明してくれればいいだけの話なのに、兄さんはまるで取り合おうとしてくれない。
That's right, Krasny-san. You are one who's avoiding the topic. If you were guiltless, you could just prove that you're in the right, yet you aren't even trying to respond.
だがまあ兄貴の立場にも配慮するさ。
In other words, he is sus. Alrighty, we still have to consider your position here.
親父の名代ということで、俺たちより一つ多く責任を背負ってるところもあるだろう。
As Dad's representative, you're probably bearing a large share of the burden that we are.
今まで散々気楽に過ごしてきた俺たちがそれを察しないでブーブー言うのはこりゃフェアな話じゃないぜ。
It wouldn't be fair for the rest of us who have been living terribly relaxed lives until now to complain without taking too much into account.
ほう。
Oh,
さっきから落とされたり持ち上げられたりと忙しい。
I have spoken ill for one moment and flattered the next. It is quite tiring.
本題に入りたまえ。
Please, get to the point.
つまりな、お父さんの財産をあれこれ調べて重箱の隅をつっつくんはブスやないかって話なんや。
Yeah, that's well put, JB. He is definitely the class clown who goes a little above and beyond to get our attention. Not in a bad way, of course. In short, randomly investigating the nitpicky aspects of father's fault seems a pretty darn boorish way to do it.
クラウス兄さんの言う通り、うまく説明できん金の動きもあるやろ。
As you said, Krasny-san, you probably got movements of money that are difficult to explain.
そこを理解した上で、わしらは兄さんに相談を持ってきたんや。
We understand that. That's why we've come to consult you with.
お互いにとって悪うない相談や。
A mutual beneficial consultation.
相談？
Consultation.
ほう。
Oh.
遺産分配時に今日まで親父の面倒を見てきてくれた兄貴のご苦労を最大限に汲み取り、
When
分
the,
配に寛大な理解を示そうってことさ。
when the inheritance is distributed, you will be rewarded for your years of hard working taking care of Dad by an agreement that is generous in your favor.
間違えないでよ
Don't misunderstand us.
別に私たちの権利を放棄するって言ってるわけじゃないのよ。
It's not like we're saying that we will abandon our rights.
ただ、その権利を主張する際に、
It's just that when we claim that what we deserve,
兄さんの立場に立った寛大な理解があってもいいんじゃないかしら、ということなのよ。
it wouldn't be bad if there was a generous understanding of our position. That's what we mean.
つまり条件を飲んでくれたら、
In other words, if you will accept our conditions,
わしらは遺産分配時にお父さんの財務状況調査をクラウス兄さんに一任してもいいっちゅうこっちゃ。
if you'll accept our conditions at the time of the division of the inheritance, we won't mind leaving the investigation of father's financial status to you, Kraus-Nisan. All of our siblings from Eva downward suspected that Kraus was trying to steal their father's wealth. In that situation, letting Kraus report on the state of the father's wealth by himself was extremely contradictory and huge concession. If that essay claimed Kraus as actually embezzling money, Kraus would be able to hide that fact. Besides that, it would have been possible for him to control this distribution of the inheritance in a manner favorable to himself. Kraus, also realizing that this sounded too good to be true, couldn't help but feel doubt. He had to worry about what would ask in return for such a compromise.
ほう、
Ah.
信用ゼロの私に長兄としての信頼を返してくれるというのか。
After mistrusting me completely, you said that you were willing to restore your confidence in me and the eldest sibling?
その見返りは何だね。
What are you asking for?
同じ兄弟としての公平な権利さ。
Just what we deserve as siblings.
俺たちの兄貴は親父の財産をかすめ取るようなやつじゃない。
You aren't the kind of person who would steal dad's property.
だがしかし、兄貴に融資するパトロンも存在しない。
However, there is no patron financing you.
となりゃ、つまりこういうことなら兄弟は納得するわけさ。
Considering all that there is as a certain explanation that would satisfy the rest of us.
兄さんは10トンの黄金を見つけ、
Nisan, you found the 10 tons of gold
それを担保に軍資金を作った。
and used that as collateral to gather some funding.
そう。お父様がかつてそうしたようにね。
Yeah, just like father did in the past, right?
そういうことならお父さんの財務状況におかしな点は一切あらへん。
If that's the case, there won't be any funny bits in father's finances.
クラウス兄さんはずっとお父さんの世話をしてきた高校息子や。
Enough with that booba, where's that lolly? Yes, that's what I want to know too. Enough with these old bags, where's the lolly? You're at a picnic. You've always been good son looking after father.
そないな人を信用せんわけにはいかへん。
We just have to remember this visual novel is a very slow burn, but I promise you the payoff will be worth it. Why would we mistrust a person like that?
回りくどくて分かりづらいな。
You're being so roundabout, I can barely understand you.
もっとはっきり具体的に言いたまえ。
Say it more clearly and specifically.
条件の一つ目。
Our first condition.
まず兄貴は親父の黄金を見つけていたことを認めること。
Aniki, you must admit that you have found dad's gold.
ありもしない黄金を私が持っていると認めろと。
Are you asking me to admit that I possess gold that doesn't exist?
条件2。
Our second condition.
その黄金について兄弟の取り分を認めこれを支払うこと。
Recognize our right to share of the gold and pay it to us.
バカな。
Damn. How foolish.
ありもしない200億の黄金について一人頭50億、合計150億を支払えというのか。
With the non-existent 25 billion with the non-existent 20 billion yen of gold, that would be 5 billion yen per person. Are you telling me to pay a total of 15 billion yen?
バカバカしい。
Preposterous.
最後まで聞きなあれ。
Keep listening till the end, you shitbag. God damn.
そない大金出てくるのは分かっとる。
バカバカしいね。 Keep listening to the end. We know that that much money can't just appear out of nowhere. We know it can't appear out of some Oji-san's ass.
でけへん取引はするつもりないで。
We're not asking you to make an impossible deal.
もちろん黄金の取り分についてもクラウス兄さんの今日までのご苦労を十分にねぎらって換算するつもりや。
Of course, regarding the portion of the gold, we plan to reward you sufficiently for your hard work until now in our calculations.
条件3。
Our third condition,
黄金の分配は後宮本家当主跡継ぎの肩書きに 50%、 残りを兄弟の正当な取り分として分割。
our third condition, a portion of gold to the one bearing the title of the successor you should be a family will be 50%. That remainder will still be split fairly between all the siblings.
もちろんクラウス兄さんもこれには含めるわよ。
Of course, this also includes you, Kurasuni-san.
200億のうち125億を兄貴に。
Of the 20 billion, 12.5 billion will go to Aniki.
25億をエヴァ姉さんに。
2.5 billion will go to Eva Nissan.
25億を俺に。
2.5 billion will go to me.
25億をローザに。
And 2.5 will go to Rosa.
ありがたくて涙が出る分配じゃないか。
A distribution that makes me so grateful I could cry.
存在しない黄金のためにお前たちに75億支払えというのかね。
So you're saying for the sake of gold that doesn't exist, I must pay you 7.5 billion? Goddamn.
何よ。
What's wrong?
兄さんの取り分は私たちの5倍じゃない。
Nissan, your share is 5 times the size of ours.
私なら踊り上がっちゃう好条件よ。
That's such a good condition, I'd be jumping for joy.
条件の4。
Our fourth condition?
分配金は親父の死亡時に遺産分配に含めて清算する。
The dividends will be paid out along with the distribution of the inheritance of the time of dad's death.
ただし手付金として俺たちの取り分の 10% を即納してもらう。
However, as a deposit, 10% of our portion will be paid to us promptly.
支払いは来年3月までだ。
The payment must be made before March of next year.
どやクラウス兄さん、お父さんの財産をめぐる信頼を回復する絶好のチャンスやないか。
What do you think, Krasny-san? This is the ideal chance for you to restore the trust you need to run father's assets, isn't it?
さすがに75億の大金はお父さんが亡くなってからやないと無理やろ。
Of course, that might be impossible to you get hold of 7.5 billion before father dies.
だが手付けの7億半はなんとかできんこともないんとちゃうか。
However, you can't say that you couldn't match a deposit of 750 million, right?
半年で7億ってのはちょいとしんどい話だが。
Paying 700 million in half a year might be a slightly bothersome.
政界財界に友人が多いってのが自慢の兄貴ならなんとかできるだろ。
But someone like you who has many friends in the political and business spheres should be able to manage it.
本当なら今すぐ75億を一括で払ってもらいたいところよ。
Normally, I'd hope to receive 7.5 billion right now, all at once.
でも兄さんの立場に配慮してとりあえず1割を納める誠意を見せてくれたら。
But out of the concern for your position, if you'll just show your sincerity by delivering 10% of the time being,
残りの9割は遺産分配時に持ち越してくれていいってことなの。
it's alright to let the remaining 90% carry over until the distribution of the inheritance,
ね、
right?
1割程度の誠意なら兄さんにだって示せるんじゃない？
Surely even you can offer a mere 10% to show your sincerity.
親父殿の財政状況調査を私に一任する権利を7億5千万で売りつけようというのかね。
So the right to investigate the status of father's assistance. assets is being sold to me for 750 billion.
上等じゃないか。
Isn't that great?
お前たちも成長したものだ。
You all sure have grown.
この私に取引を持ちかけられるようになるとは。
I never thought you all become capable of offering a deal to me.
これらを兄さんが飲むなら、私たち兄弟はお父様の財産状況調査を兄さんに一任する。
Nissan, if you accept these, the rest of the siblings will leave the investigation of father's assets to you.
ただし、その調査結果は公弁の対象となる。
However, the results of that investigation will be subject to appeal.
当然よね。
It's only natural, right?
75億分、私たちの取り分が減るように調整されちゃったら悲しいもの。
We'd be sad if you adjusted our portions downwards by 7.5 billion.
原則的に文句は言わねえつもりだ。
As a general rule, we wouldn't complain.
兄貴が綺麗にやってくれたならそれでいい。
As long as you do it neatly, it's fine.
よっぽど露骨なことをしなけりゃ、俺たちはことを荒立てるつもりなんかねえんだぜ。
As long as you don't do anything significantly obvious, we don't plan to aggravate anything.
俺たちだって早く遺産は欲しい。
We want the inheritance quickly as much as you.
いつまでもグダグダして取りっぱぐれたくねえんだ。
We don't want to get all drawn out and led astray.
公弁された場合の再調査は誰がするのかね。
In that case of appeal, who would do the second investigation?
兄さんでいいわ。
That can be you as well.
多分これが兄弟で合議する最初で最後の機会だもの。
This will probably be the first and last opportunity for us siblings to discuss this.
そんなことにはならないと信じてる。
I trust you not to let it come to that.
ローザもたまには言うわね。
Rosa, you really can talk sometimes. That Kraus was not trusted whatsoever. The oldest sibling was by now so obvious that it requires no explanation. The formerly tyrannical oldest brother would always abuse his privileges and infringe upon the other sibling's shares. In response to that, the other three now adults were for the first time striking back at him by working together.
申し訳ないが条件はまだ続くんや。
I'm sorry, but there are further conditions.
条件5、
Our fifth condition,
この取り決めはお父さんの遺言状に優先する。
this decision must take precedence over father's will.
後になってこの取り決めが保護になるような遺言が出てきちゃかなわんちゅうこっちゃな。
Later on, we don't want some will to appear and make this decision completely useless.
入念じゃないか。
I see that you're very cautious.
なら質問だが、仮に本当に黄金が見つかった場合、どうするのかね。
Then let me ask, if the gold really were found, what would you do?
それに対する支払いを兄貴が済ませてる以上、
As long as you settle this matter with the corresponding payment,
俺たちは本当に黄金が出てこようがどうでもいいことさ。
and whether the gold really appears or not makes no difference to us.
俺たちの取り分は先払いってな感じになるわけだからな。
You can think of our share as an advance payment.
夢があっていいじゃない。
Gives you something to live for.
この島をリゾート化するつもりなんでしょ。
You plan to turn this island into a resort, right?
その工事の途中でひょっこり黄金が見つかるかもしれないじゃない。
During construction, you might stumble upon the gold by chance. Eva let out a high-pitched laugh. Kraus watched without even flinching.
条件に7をつけてもらおう。
Let me add a 7th condition before I accept.
私以外の兄弟が黄金を発見した場合、速やかに私に引き渡すこと。
In the situation that any siblings other than myself finds the gold, they would immediately turn it over to me.
もちろん保証するわよ。
Yes, yes, of course. We'll guarantee you that. Very sneaky. Insignificant details. The others who are forcing Kraus to pay money for some non-existent gold would of course not ensure Kraus's portion if they actually found the gold. From the beginning, this deal has been nothing more than a threat directed at Kraus. While the truth might actually be different, the probability that Kraus was embezzling his father's assets was extremely high. When at last Kinzo faced death, it came from the inheritance to be distributed. Surely some unpleasant facts would come to light. That situation would most likely be a fatal wound to Kraus. They had latched onto the weak points and were threatening their brother under the veil of a compromise, trying to wring out a huge sum of money. However, they had let one thing slip their minds. The three of them had forgotten that their oldest sibling, who couldn't defeat unless they band together, was a very nimble thinker when it came to being crafty. Yes, it's Game of Thrones, but without the thrones. Kraus relaxed, let out a gloating laugh as he spoke to Eva, who could not hide her smile, so certainly she was her victory. Or rather, Game of Thrones, but without the dragons.
とても良い話じゃないか。
This all sounds marvelous to me.
私もお前たちとの関係が疎遠になっていたことには非常に心を痛めていた。
I have been feeling a deep pain in my heart and my estrangement of the rest of you.
この条件を飲むことによって兄弟間の関係が再び有効なものにできるなら、それはとても嬉しいことだよ。
If by accepting these conditions I could make our sibling relationship friendly once again, I would be quite pleased.
喜んで話に乗らせてもらおうじゃないか。
I would gladly take you up on your offer.
喜べローザ。
Be happy, Rosa.
取引は成立だ。
We have a deal. Why do you look so uncertain? Rosa's expression dimmed. When her brothers started talking like this, the conversation would never change for the better. Eva was also sensitive enough to realize this. Therefore, even though Kraus had obediently accepted the deal, she was unable to wipe away her feelings of insecurity.
嫌に素直ね。
My, how obedient.
兄さんらしくもないわ。
That's not like you, Nisan.
それはひどいじゃないか。
That's harsh.
私に下心があるというのかね。
You think I have an ulterior motive?
あるわけもないさ。
Of course I don't.
お前たちと同じだ。
I'm just like all of you. I'm just like all of you. I felt as though only that part was emphasized. The color of Rudolph's face darkened. I have a plan, just like all of you. Boy, that sure sounds sus. That's what it sounded like to him. Shiva, welcome to the Strand. Welcome to the Strand. I hope you had fun earlier with Jurassic Park. I was able to stick around a little bit for it. That's what it sounded like to him. That gave me a sense of urgency. Trying to bring this near finished discussion to a conclusion, he rushed to wrap it up.
ならいいんだ。
Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed Ashira. That movie was a childhood favorite of mine. And even in the 90s, the dinosaurs look way too realistic.
じゃあ兄貴、
No, Aniki.
ここにサインをもらえるか？
Would you mind signing here?
今の話を書き出した俺たちの誓約書だ。
This is our written contract containing the discussion that we've been having.
人数分ある。
Ah, thank you for gifting a sub to Shira JB. Much appreciated. Give it a sheesh. Then we are good. So Aniki, would you mind signing here? This is a written contract containing the discussion we've been having. There's one for each person.
同じ内容に全員がサインする。
Everyone will sign the same content. Rudolph took the 4 written contracts out of the breast pocket that had the details are written on them.
クラウス兄さんの提案した条件7ももちろん今から追記するで。
Of course, we'll also add the 7th condition that you proposed straight away.
安心したってな。
Don't worry.
兄貴、ペン使うか？
Aniki, will you use a pen? Rudolph took a fountain pen off his breast pocket and offered it to Klaus. Kraus made it to accept it, but then with a small laugh drew back his hand without taking it and spoke.
実はこの取り決めを確かに履行するために1点だけ修正を提案したい。
Thank you so much, Shira. Good night. Sleep well. I gotta go sleepy, but I just want to stop by and see Takani Papa stream on Twitch. Thank you. Next time you're live on Twitch, I will raid you. So good night, Shira. Sleep well. Actually, in order to make sure this agreement is definitely effective, I would like to propose a single amendment. And Kraus said that one sentence. All the siblings felt at the same time as though something annoying was creeping on their backs.
ダメよ。
That won't do.
もう決まった話よ。
We've already decided, have we?
黙ってサインを。
Be quiet and fucking sign it.
エヴァ、何を焦っているんだね。
Eva, why are you so impatient?
もちろんサインはする。
Of course I will sign it.
お前たちに黄金の分け前、75億円分を約束する。
I'll promise you all the share of gold, 7.5 billion yen.
親父殿の遺産分配の時、きれいさっぱり清算することも約束する。
I also promise that when father inheritance is distributed, I will cleanly and neatly liquidate it.
だが、一点だけどうしても譲歩してもらいたい部分があるのだよ。
However, there is just one point in which I must ask you to compromise.
何の話だよ。
What are you talking about?
どの点が気に入らねえってんだ。
What point don't you like?
分け前の1割、7億5千万円を即納する点だよ。
The part about probably paying the 10% of each portion 750 million yen.
お前たちの指摘通り、私の財政状況は決して裕福ではない。
As he pointed out, my financial situation is not prosperous.
数々の先行投資によって未来に必ず回収できると保証されながらも、
While I guarantee you to definitely collect on various future investments,
今のこの時点では火の車であることは認めなければならない。
at this time I have no choice but to admit that I am very poor. Ah, the millionaire is poor. Who would have thunk?
つまり、今すぐに動かせる金は全くないということだ。
In short, I have absolutely no money that I can move around right now. Bullshit, I call it bullshit. Look at that smoke face, that's bullshit.
私は無能で詳細の嗅覚も鈍い。
Unless he's eating out of a fucking 50-cent ramen cup, then I don't believe that he's actually poor. Bullshit. I am incompetent and my business skills and senses are dull. Bullshit, Grandpa.
お前たちの言うところの弱り目の私には、7億半も半年で動かせる力はないということだよ。
An unfortunate such as me to use your words has no power to move 750 million in just half a year.
そんなはずはないでしょ。
That can't be true.
いい加減なことを言ってこの場をごまかす気？
Are you trying to deceive us with offhand remarks?
遺産分配時に全て一括で清算する。
At the time of the division of the inheritance, I will liquidate everything at once.
1割を即納する条件を削除したまえ。
Remove the condition that I must pay you 10% in advance.
それが私にサインさせるための唯一の条件だ。
That is all you have to do to get me the sign.
クラウス兄さん、この1割はな、あくまでも兄さんの誠意を測る数字なんやで。
That's Nissan. That 10% is nothing more than a number to measure your sincerity, isn't it?
本当なら取引の余地もない話や。
Strictly speaking, we shouldn't even be making you a deal in the first place.
そこを100歩譲った上で、とりあえず1割の誠意でこの場を丸く収めちゃるっちゅう大サービスなんやで。
We're doing you a big favor by offering to let things slide for just 10% in a good faith money.
そう説明した上でそこを断るっちゅうんは互いの信頼関係にちょいと影を落とすんとちゃいますか？
We explained all that to you, so don't you think rejecting that part damages our trusting relationship a little? Hideyoshi had a humble expression on his face and his hands clasped together. But his eyes were not calm at all. Kraus had already seen through the shadow depths of those eyes.
お前たちは何を焦っているのか。
Why are you all so hurried?
それとも何に怯えているのかね。
Or are you possibly afraid of something?
ローザ、私にだけは教えてくれんかね。
Rosa, won't you tell me at least?
他の兄弟たちには内緒でこっそりと。
Secretly, without telling the rest of the siblings.
別に私は
It's not like I...
よせよ兄貴。
What did Aniki?
俺たちは兄貴がサインするかしないかしか聞いてない。
All we're asking is whether you're going to sign it or not.
妙な勘繰りも交渉もなしで。
Just forget about making any strange deals or anything suspicious.
ほう、
Oh.
私には交渉の余地もないと。
I have no margin of negotiation.
立場が弱いのは私の方で公平な関係ではないとそう言いたいのかね。
You claim that my position is so weak that we are not an even relationship? Shivers began to crawl up Rudolph's back. Ever since he was a child, he had never been able to overcome the height of the wall that separated him from his older brother. And now again he began to feel himself getting sucked in by it, and the long shadow it cast.
取引は公平な関係であるべきじゃないのかね。
Shouldn't deals be made on an even footing?
この取引は私にとっては弟や妹たちと長いことを失ってきた信頼を取り戻し兄弟愛を深め合うもの。
To me, this deal is something to restore the long-lost trust of my younger brother and sisters and deepen the love between us siblings.
それは私にとって緊急に解決したかった心のしこりだ。
It has been a cancer in my heart that I wish resolved quickly. Bullshit.
それが今日解決できてとても嬉しいと思う。
I am very happy that I'm able to resolve it today.
だがお前たちもこの取引を急ぎ締結することがとても嬉しいんじゃないのか
But
ね。
you two would be very happy to see this deal quickly concluded, wouldn't you? Kraus stared at each of the siblings. They avoided his gaze like animal-like instincts. Only Hideyoshi was slowly avoiding it. Gonna warm up some food. You do that, JB. I too am gonna be having dinner very shortly. So he caught in Kraus's gaze.
秀吉兄さん、
Hideyoshi-ni-san,
あなたの会社非常に好調子だそうじゃないですか。
I hear that your company has been growing extremely well recently, hasn't it?
トントン拍子で上場を果たし業績も株価も右肩上がり。
Got me some Chinese takeout with the hard cider drinking tonight. Nice, nice. Hope you enjoy your dinner. You didn't hit any problems getting it listed as a stock, and bothered performance and stock prices are constantly growing.
実にお羨ましいことです。
I am truly jealous.
うちの人の話は関係ないでしょ。
My husband's situation surely has nothing to do with this.
だが株主たちに対する還元を怠ったのが悪かった。
However, it is unfortunate that you have neglected your stockholders.
そして上場した時に足回りを固めきらなかったのもまずか。
Ava, such a thought, so true. It's also horrible that you were unable to solidify your base when it became a stock listed.
気づいた時にはたちの悪い連中に自社株をだいぶ買い集められていたらしいじゃないですか。
Before you realize that some bad-natured fellows have brought up a considerable amount of your company's stock, hadn't they?
なんでそんな話知っとるんや。
How can you know something like that?
秀吉さんと同じですよ。
The same way as you.
私に融資する人間などいないと裏を取れる程度に私も秀吉さんの裏を取れるのです。
If you can collect evidence proving that no one would offer a loan to me, then I can collect evidence on you.
そんな不思議があることはないじゃないですか。
Haha, it is really that strange of a thing. Kraus grinned broadly. In contrast, Hideyoshi's face was turning obviously pale. Damn. Hideyoshi's company was fast food chain operating company that he had stated for nothing. Though Hideyoshi's management efforts, performance of the business repeatedly rose and trying to find and ultimately succeeded in becoming a stock-listed company. Greatest advantage of being in the stock holding system is that by selling stock certifies a large amount of financing can be gained. That amount is far greater than the actual profits from the business. This made an extremely effective way to gather the massive funds needed to grow this company even further. However, in exchange for financing the company, the stockholders have certain rights. Namely, the right to observe the guide company that they have financed in order to raise their profits above the investments. That right is guaranteed to all stockholders, and they sometimes even use it to reorganize in effectual management. Oh god, talking about the stocks kill me now. I promise you, Umineko is interesting. We just gotta get through the boring bullshit. It is a right to prevent the money that has spent financing the company from going to waste by watching the management of the company. However, if they use this right forcibly, they can inject the former management and take over the company. Because the general body of the shareholders have the power to diminish the management-nominated new management. That right is exercised on a majority decision by the stockholders. And people who add more stocks get to cast more votes. In other words, if some people or group holders holds a majority of the stocks, they could freely chase out the old management and make the president anyone they would like. If they want, it's even possible for them to make themselves president. Many companies, in order to prevent their stocks from being bought up by malicious people and their position from being threatened, take some kind of defensive measure, such as having their own employees or people close to them buying a lot of stocks certificates in order to prevent a hostile group from securing the majority. However, since Hideyoshi's company had only recently become stock listed, they hadn't had time to strengthen those defensive measures. No, maybe Hideyoshi himself was so engrossed in the management of his company that he hadn't realized the dangers of being stock listed. It's hard to say that he would be viewed as a kind-hearted, skilled manager immersed in management, or a foolish manager who had his feet swept out from under him. But in any case, there were people out there who would not let you get away with that naivety unscathed. They rapidly brought up Hideyoshi's company stock and instantly gained a significant amount of power. Then they sent anonymous documents to the shareholders and began to capture the majority. Documents read, "The current management continues to make pointless investments and ignoring the needs of the stockholders. Let us force the current management to retire, cut the costs, cut the current waste investments, and let this company be born again on that one gives more back to the stockholders." It is very difficult to make the actual state of company's management known. They maliciously twisted the figures. Hideyoshi had produced a tiny amount of sleep and constant concerns of his company and made him lose the trust of his stockholders. The efforts had almost collected a majority of the stocks in the company. At that point, even Hideyoshi had noticed that started to buy back the stocks, but the stockholders who realized that the company was undergoing an acquisition maneuver demanded a ridiculous price for the shareholders, and Hideyoshi was trying to buy back. They continually tortured Hideyoshi, who had no leeway in the negotiation of prices. One of the certainties of capitalism that the value will rise when both parties buy for the same thing. One of the certainties of democracy is that the majority controls everything. So in the end, whoever managed to buy out the most stock wins. So whoever has the most money wins. If Hideyoshi could obtain a large sum of money at this critical time, he would be able to avoid losing all that which he had built up. Therefore, more than anything else right now, he wanted a lot of money right now, just like the rest of us. He couldn't wait for the division of Kinzo's inheritance, which may not happen for some time.
ルドルフの方も最近は大変だそうじゃないかね。
And you, Rudolph, you've been in a lot of trouble lately, haven't you?
海外は怖いとよく言うが、本当にそうらしいな。
They say it's scary overseas, but it seems that's really true.
アメリカの裁判は極めて感情的に決まる。
American trials are settled quite emotionally.
彼らは外国人に寛大な判決など出しはしない。
They won't give a generous judgment to a foreigner.
先方と和解した方が結局は安上がりになると 弁護士に忠告を受けたんじゃないのかね。
Weren't you advised by your lawyers that making a settlement with the other party would be more economical in the end?
何の話？
What is he talking about?
まあ仕事上のトラブルさ。
It's just troubles at work.
大したことじゃない。
It's no big deal.
金で切りのつく話さ。
It'll be settled with money. Kate quickly recognized what Rudolph's complaint the expression meant. Her husband had gotten wrapped up in some kind of trouble without her knowledge and had been suffering alone.
その通りさ。
That's right.
世の中なんだって金で蹴りがつく。
In this world, anything can be settled with money.
失った兄弟の絆だって買い戻せるようにな。
After all, it can't even buy back the broken bonds between siblings.
アメリカは権利侵害などにはうるさい国だ。
America's very fussy about the violations of rights. I don't know, business. I don't know why they'd be afraid.
だが金さえあれば何でも和解できる。
But with money, anything can be settled.
資本主義万歳だよ。
Long live capitalism.
もっとも和解金は数百万ドルにも及びそうだとの噂もあるがね。
Although rumors about that the settlement money may reach several $million. Rudolph had been building a large amount of wealth with a certain type of niche market. However, a niche is a niche, and it's definitely not a sunny job. An American corporate giant was trying to accuse Rudolph's company of violating their rights. For various reasons, it was thought that winning the trial was extremely unlikely, and Rudolph was being pressed to surrender outright. But even so, there was a way to resolve it with money. If he could only pay that money, although it might be painful, he still could pick himself back up. But he didn't pay, he'd lose everything. Therefore, more than anything else, he wanted a lot of money right now, just like me.
ローザは清く正しい妹だ。
Rosa, you're a good and noble little sister.
危険なマネーゲームなどには手を出さない。
You wouldn't even touch a dangerous money game.
だが、お人よしな性分が災いしたんじゃないかね。
However, your self-hearted nature was your ruin, wasn't it?
連帯保証人は気安く引き受けるものではないと思うがね。
I wouldn't think one should agree to become a co-signer so lightly.
それはクラウス兄さんとは関係ない。
It has nothing to do with you, Krasny-san. Rose uncharacteristically laid bare her emotions and yelled, because she had thought that she had kept it a secret, as Kraus watched her slip a muffled laugh. There was nothing to fear. Every one of them, more than anything else, wanted a lot of money right now. In other words, the situation had been reversed. Because only Kraus, who they were threatening, had no urgent need for a large sum of money. Compared to that, the three who were threatening him wanted money quickly, no matter what the cost. So the longer Kraus postponed the deal, the greater advantage to him. How sneaky. Kraus was very sly. He had known for their Achilles' heel from the beginning. Even so, he had not been certain. Therefore, he had hidden that until the very end, and upon closely and completely examining their attitude, he had struck back.
私もできることなら、可愛い弟や妹たちの危機に金を工面してやりたいと思っているよ。
If I could, I would love to raise some money for my darling brothers and sisters in their time of need.
だが、残念なことに持ち合わせがなくてね。
But unfortunately, I have nothing on hand.
7億半もの大金が工面できるスポンサーに心当たりがあるなら、
If you have
先
any,
にそちらを当たってもらいたいのだよ。
if you have any sponsors in mind that could raise a whole $750 million, I suggest you try there first. Like great Shadow Legends. Krause's elated words were horribly blunt. The other siblings could do nothing more than listen, grinding their teeth. They could think of a sponsor that would haven't kept up their charade. They had entered this huge Specifically because they had exhausted all their options.
もしお前たちがどうしてもこの兄を頼りたいというなら
If you're so set on relying on your older brother,
私の口利きでスポンサーを探してやっても良いのだがね。
I could use my influence to find you
おっ
sponsors.
と、私にはそんなものはいないと言っていたか。
Oh wait, you already said that I have no influence.
それではどうにもならんね。
Yeah, I'm sorry. I noticed that my OBS went to the red, so I guess it's buffering just a bit. Twitch page refresh. Or maybe it's a sign that I should probably end stream soon. I don't know. We were just getting to the good part. Raid is prolific. They covered entire corners of the internet. So true, so true. Why is my internet going so poo-poo right now? Don't go poo-poo. Dumb internet. Well then, I can't do anything, can I? Across the slow gloating laugh began to fill the parlor. Younger siblings who had until now been driving the oldest brother into the corner could do nothing more than grimace and grind their teeth. We already reached 2 hours, I know. 2 hours. I'd say that's a win. That's true, and I sure have been talking a lot. I wonder if I could fix the internet somehow, and they say there's nothing I can do. I suppose I should end this. I don't know how long this conversation between the siblings is gonna go on for. I'd say that laugh was a good way to end it here. I'm just gonna take a sip of water first. Ooh, that was a whole lot of talking for 2 hours straight, huh? Also, more importantly, I have to remember to save. That was a lot of progress we went into. Save, please. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, OBS is still in the red. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I figured I'll just call it here. Thanks for the string mystery. Thank you all. Well, let me just, exit here. Oh, wait. That sure was a stream, wasn't it? We went to a lot of places. And we saw a lot of family drama and a lot of math that I cannot comprehend because I am just a puppet and I don't do well with math. A lot of financial talk. I definitely think I know what I'm gonna do for the thumbnail once I put this on YouTube. A lot of stonks being discussed. But at least we got to see Booba, we got to see Loli, so it was still a good time. It was worth the effort. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have myself some dinner at last. So thank you everyone for following, and JP for gifting the gift subs. Much appreciated for your support. I don't usually do schedules for my streams anymore, but when I do, I'll let you all know in advance in my Twitter at misery_vt. Probably next stream is probably gonna be Splatoon again, but we'll see when that'll happen. I'll definitely let you guys know. Thank you. Very cute and funny puppet. Thank you for the stream, Misery. Thank you all for being here on late Twitch. I hope Twitch has been treating you well as it's been treating me, since it's really fun seeing emotes on my chat for once. Very political stream, was very dramatic. Yes. But again, I promise you, eventually, we'll get to the good stuff. It won't just be financial talk for the entirety of the visual novel. I promise you. It will get good. I just don't know when. It'll probably be a while. You just gotta hang in there. I promise you, by the time October or Halloween comes up, we'll get the witches, we'll get the spooky payoff, and we'll get the witch booba and lots of candy. You have a good meal, Mystery. Thank you for the comfy stream. Thank you so much for joining me. And with that, I'll bid you adieu.
Good night, everyone. Every puppet, good night. And have some dinner yourself. Or go sleepies. Bye-bye. 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 Oh! Thank you. Thank you for the sub. Last minute subs. Thank you. Thank you, JB again, giving us up to Florin and Salvatan. Waffles, Momiji, why do you wait until the last minute? But thank you. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say that before I actually left. Thank you again, JB. Much appreciated, especially since it's September right now. So again, bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, JB. Bye-bye.